Hello and welcome to our panel discussion today. We are talking about the importance of strategic partnerships to provide an all-in-one solutions. All-in-one solutions, that's also the title of our virtual fair. And I'm very happy that we are discussing today with some managing directors from the strategic partners of LiSEC, which will be Mr. Göttlinger from the Glastronic, Mr. Glastronic from Cerricom, Mr. Schraml, and Mr. Stöger. Let me start with the CEO from LiSEC, Mr. Wumbauer. Strategic partnerships are very important for LiSEC. That's what I learned within the last days. Not only to provide all-in-one solutions, but also, can you tell me something about how do you see these partnerships? How important are they?
Strategic partnerships, of course, are not only important for LiSEC, but for LiSEC as well. In our business, there is a very wide range of solutions on the one hand, and on the other hand, a very wide range of different customers, and it's difficult to really cover all this with one organization, and therefore we have these strategic partnerships on the one hand to have complementary solutions in our portfolio. Like the pre-owned machinery with Glastronic, or like the inside and outside processing machinery with Schraml. On the other hand, it gives the possibility to have additional experience and additional know-how for our engineering, like with Glastronic, where we are doing glass processing under market conditions our own to really understand the business of our customers. That's the one thing. The other thing is with these partners it is possible to address additional customers, especially with pre-owned machinery, or as I mentioned with the Schraml machinery, as well with the machinery of Cerricom, in an earlier stage of the development of their customers, and then accompany them with their growing demand, to higher automated solutions, and therefore be a partner for these customers from a very early stage on. So there are a lot of aspects why these partnerships make sense for LiSEC and are important for LiSEC. And finally, of course, this partnership as well contribute to the revenues and to the earnings of the group.
Normally, in my experience, normally companies don't say much about the shareholding relationships. Do you want to say something about your shareholding with these companies, or is it just secret?
No, it's not secret. There's not a lot to say about. Most of these partnerships, like Schraml, like Glastronic, and like Glastronic, are 100% owned by LiSEC, and Cerricom is a joint venture with an other company branch of LiSEC. So finally, it's also part of the LiSEC group.
And normally it's not very easy to integrate strong companies like these companies that you have as partners. So how does the integration work with LiSEC?
It always is some way to go to do this integration, of course. Important is to have clear competences allocated to these partners, and this gives the structure for a successful partnership and for a successful cooperation finally.
And would you say all these partners are one reason for your success in all-in-one solutions?
It's an important part of it, as I mentioned in the beginning, because there is a very wide range of solutions which is not really able to cover under one roof and to cover with one organization, because the different businesses have quite different aspects. If you take the pre-owned machinery business or the processing business, and therefore, of course, it's an important contribution to the success and to the all-in-one solutions position we want to represent in the market.
You already mentioned the pre-owned machinery, so we're going to Mr. Stöger. Could you, as you are specialized in pre-owned machines, could you give us a little introduction in your company? What exactly is Glastronic doing?
Yeah, Glastronic is part of the LiSEC group since 2016. We have around 30 employees. We have our own service people for installation, for installing the equipment. We also have a steel production, a small steel production, and we produce some new machines also for LiSEC. The turnover at Glastronic is around 6 million euros in a year, so it's a good and big company. We try to implement in the LiSEC group as good as possible, but we always have to improve our processes. We always have to adjust the things that we can get closer and closer.
And what would you say that your customers benefit in somehow from this partnership with LiSEC?
Yeah, the biggest benefit is, as Mr. Brombauer mentioned, the all-in-one solution. When customers are buying a new line, we can start the conversation with them, we can start the negotiating about the old lines. We can buy them back, we can give them a real all-in-one solution. We take care about the buying back, about the removement from the line, we take it back to Hungary, and we also give him the date for the installing of the new lines. Everything is hand in hand. So we have some projects where we do the projecting together, also with LAT, so that we can give the customer the full plan for dismantling the line, installing the new line. He does not has to take care about anything in his factory. When he signed the order, everything is finished for him. He don't need to think about what happened with the old line, what happened with the old equipment. We take care of this.
To have a longer lifetime for these machines by refurbishment, by using pre-owned machines, what would you say, how important for you is the sustainable aspect of this?
Yeah, I think the sustainability is one of the biggest advantages from LiSEC, and this is what LiSEC stands for. And when we buy the lines back, they produce 2 shifts, 3 shifts, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and then we take them back, we bring them back to Glastronic, we refurbish them. Maybe we need PC upgrades, that we have the latest PC version inside, and then we sell it again to new customers. Doesn't matter if these are big customers or small customers, we sell to everyone, and then you see the really sustainability and the reliability from our products. This is what LiSEC stands for.
And you buy and resell it globally, all over the world, or what is Glastronic working with?
Yes, we are changing also a little bit our strategy. We focus on our new hub structure. We will implement the strategy for buying back through the hub structure. And now we sold a IG line to Australia, for example. We sold 2 cutting lines to UK, 1 KSR to Slovenia. Now, a brand new information, we sold a cutting table to Johannesburg, South Africa. So I think the whole world is covered with Glastronic as well.
That sounds good. So that's
yes.
Kind of any highlights.
Yeah.
Do you know what was the oldest machine that you bought and resold?
Yeah, we cannot buy back each machine, because sometimes you have problems with the electrical components, that you still have the spare part availability we have to guarantee the customer that there is also something like a spare parts availability. So we can only start buying back the machines with the year 2000. This is our line, our border, and starting from year 2000, we can handle the spare parts, we can do the PC upgrades, and make the customer happy with the good working and also modern designed machine.
Very interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bocconi, you are doing something completely different. You are not living a bit in the future, because Cerricom is a specialist for machines and software for glass laser processing. So could you give us an idea what you are doing with the laser technology?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the invitation here. Yes, as you mentioned, that's the perfect point of what you are saying, is that we are basically already living a little bit in the future. We are a small business coming or situated in Minden in North Germany, and we were formerly known as the Cerricom GmbH in Germany. So now, as an all-in-one solution possibility, LiSEC and also LASCOM, we saw the future of future developments, machinery, in also taking care of laser processing, and that's the reason why Cerricom, or formerly Cerricom, was taken over and regrouped into Cerricom, into the LiSEC group. So we are specialists in providing laser solutions in glass processing. So what does it mean? So we are thinking that with glass processing, we will have the same environment in a couple of years as it's already at the moment in the metal industry. So that we are having a contact-free, no tools, machines, which allows to process the glass in well, each possibility what we can see at the moment with conventional machines. True, that's still, we have a lot of steps to go, but at the moment we already have some very interesting features. Laser technology is keeping going on, is improving rapidly, and we are already having an interesting product portfolio, and that will get even more interesting in the future.
Mm-hmm. So of course, every one of you has some expectations also towards the big company LiSEC, which is your partner. Can you tell me something about your expectations from Cerricom?
Well, as Mr. Brummer was saying before, each of our companies here has one or two specialities. So we can't live without the other one. So we are specialists just in development of laser processes. This is already quite challenging, and we are not specialists, for example, also in providing the rest of the solution, which means, for example, glass handling, or glass logistics. So that's why we think we have a lot of synergies in common in this sense, that we have LiSEC providing the main hardware and the main equipment where you can implement afterwards the laser process. So this is one part, I think, the most important of all. And then, of course, there are a lot of other synergies. We are a small company. We can't provide international sales and after sales the same way as LiSEC can do it. We can't have the same purchasing advantages as a big group. So we can't take care of, for example, building ourselves. Or that's not our target, to build our own complete machine or a line. So that's we won't be very efficient in this sense. So this is why we see a lot of potential in the partnership with LiSEC.
And besides the partnership, if we are talking about your products, what would you say is the greatest challenge in these days for Cerricom?
There are two main challenges at the moment. Of course, everybody is talking about Corona pandemic. This is one point. So at the moment, it is as it is. We have visions where we want to go, but at the moment, that's also law of physics. our laser solutions might be very good in quality, better than any conventional process, but they are sometimes quite slow. So this is for the current situation. This is a problem because what we are providing that are nice to have machines, but not must have machines. So the Corona pandemic, everybody is looking at where we would like to invest. So it's a difficult environment. And the other thing is, of course, so for the development itself, the biggest challenge at the moment is, as I mentioned also before, it's just the technology of the laser development. It's pure physics. Everybody can do the same with the same laser. But we are ready once the next step, the next laser technology comes in, that we are the fastest one out there who can place some new nice products.
And one last question to you. I was asking Mr. Brunbauer how the integration of these partner companies happened. Was it a good integration? I will ask you, do you feel good integrated in the LiSEC family?
Yes, I do, of course. It's still, we founded the company in May. Due to Corona pandemic, we could only start operative business in July. So we have a very short term at the moment, so a short period what we are talking about. But I think we have a very good and strong understanding where we would like to go. We have a strong vision. We have also in this sense a very good cooperation between our technical departments. So now it's more step by step that we really need to get down to business and also in development and get more and more into the details. But for the main understanding, we have a very good and strong partnership, yes.
Very interesting, this laser part. But we also, and every one of you, needs engineering, and that's where I come to this Röttlinger. If we talk about process engineering in these days, I mean, these machines are have a very high complexity. There's a lot of software, there's a lot of technology behind this. What can you tell us about your company? What are exactly you doing in your company?
Well, I'm one of the managing directors there, and together with my partner. And GlassTech is, simply speaking, a glass processing company. Yeah, we assemble insulating units. We produce safety glass, just like most of our LiSEC customers as well. We achieved this with 60 to 70 employees, and I believe since the early 90 years we are a member of the LiSEC group.
And what would you say, how helpful was this partnership?
Well, in my opinion, this partnership is really crucial for LiSEC. Yeah? It provides like a place where LiSEC can test the equipment there. Newer machines, and what's really crucial in all that process engineering is that we give direct feedback on the machines to LiSEC, and on the one hand, it's easy to tell whether the machine is running well or not, but the really important point is process engineering, and therefore LiSEC can really understand the customer's need, because the problems which LiSEC customers have, it's the problems we have all the time, and therefore LiSEC can understand what the needs of the customers for the machines are.
What would you say is the main challenge for process engineering? Is it the automation? Is it digitalization? What would you say is the key factor for the future?
Well, I believe a little bit both. On the one hand, the machines have to run. On the other side, life has to be made easier for our staff. That's when digitalization comes into play. And without direct feedback on process engineering, it's very hard to really engineer machines which meet that requirement.
If you stay at the requirements, the customer's requirements, what would you say? How individual are these requirements? Is it very hard for you to respond to all these requirements from customers, or do you see every customer is very individual with its individual needs concerning the engineering?
In general, you can sum that up in a nutshell. It's all about efficiency and it's all about quality. If we don't provide quality, then nobody will buy. Yeah? Neither from Glastronic nor from LiSEC. And efficiency as well. Yeah? If you need double time for producing insulating glass units and safety glass, that's when you make customers go to other players in the market. But it's really the asset from the partnership with LiSEC and Glastronic. Yeah? It's a direct feedback on engineering and it's like our major goal is to increase efficiency and to increase the quality.
Perhaps one last question concerning the efficiency of your customers, which is the great benefit. What would you say, according to your experience, how did the efficiency develop within the last years? Was it increasing, or do you say we have always new ideas, we have new technologies, but we try to keep a high efficiency, the highest efficiency in its time, always?
Well, I mean, there was times when all the stuff had to put the glass sheets on the machine by hand, yeah, and nowadays smart solution can do that. And in my opinion, the efficiency in the processing itself is steadily increasing. Yeah. Of course, there are always some major jumps, and hopefully with Cerricom in the near future, that's when new technology comes into play. But until then, it's a continuous process.
Okay, thank you. Interesting. Let's talk about Schraml. You are specialized in glass processing and washing machines, or is this too shorted if I present Schraml like this? What would you say? What is Schraml doing, and what are you specialized in? What are your great experiences that you can bring into the LiSEC family?
Well, the company Schraml is on the market of glass processing machinery since the 1990s, so about 30 years. And we had been promoting and presenting the method of vertical glass processing with our brand Top Drill as the very first one. So it still carries the logo first in vertical drilling. And since then we're a little bit on the forefront of innovation in terms of drilling or drilling and milling. And so just for washing and drilling machines nowadays might be a little bit too short, because we are well known not only for washing and drilling, but also for the combined centers of drilling, milling, and grinding. And this is where we are trying to put our focus also nowadays. And yes, we are part of LiSEC Group proudly since 2017. And yes, we are trying to focus on the same target of market that we had before.
So it's not a very long history of partnership. Yes, we have 3 years now, but perhaps you can tell us what changed in this time. Were there any changes at Schraml, and if so, what were these changes? Are there new perspectives for Schraml? Are there new product developments? What would you say is this partnership for you?
Yes, of course. So first of all, it was an integration, and it had some challenges to be overcome. And right now we're in a very good situation and a stable situation, and we can concentrate our common work on on finding the technical synergies. And this is the very good part of the partnership, of the cooperation, that we have a huge field of partners, of engineers to rely on and to cooperate. And this is the core synergy of the integration, that we are working now all together on the same target.
Well, it's very nice that you have a good partnership with LiSEC, so for you, for Schraml. What is the benefit for your customers?
Well, the customers, they can find solutions that before had not been possible, nor for LiSEC, nor for Schraml. So now we are merging the two possibilities, the two technical features and the benefits, and the outcome is some special lines, products that are really new to the glass industry, and they're focusing on high efficient and highly individual glass production in a very uncomplicated way.
We were talking about global acting partners. Are you also acting global, and who are the customers that you address to?
Well, our typical customer is always the mid-size glass processor, mid-size and industrial glass processor. In our history, we have installed roughly about 1,000 drilling machines worldwide. So, of course, we have installations in all the 5 continents. And together with LiSEC, it's still easier to address their demand and also to be present on the local markets. And this is what we try to fulfill with our partnership right now and with the new hub structure too.
At our virtual fair, you presented innovation, and of course I have to ask you about this. The CombiFin. Could you briefly tell us something about this new machine?
Yes, of course. So, as you asked before, the CombiFin is one perfect result of the cooperation, which has merged the advantages of the well-known MRX drilling and milling machine together with the so-called GLX for grinding and polishing, because grinding and polishing is the core business of any glass processor. And in this smart and combined line, we can focus on the individual advantages of those machines with the outcome of a perfect product for the customer, individual but still high efficient, uncomplicated to use, very small footprint, and more than easy to use. So it's really a highlight for the partnership of LiSEC and Schraml, and I'm happy I can't wait to start marketing from beginning of the next year and seeing the first results of this.
So, in your last answer, we were already looking a little bit into the future. I will go a bit more in this and ask you, Mr. Bocconi, where is the growth potential in the cooperation with LiSEC for you? And what would you say, what are the next steps within the next 2 to 5 years for the laser technology?
Well, if we are looking into the past, the main business, we were focusing on small companies, either for the engraving solutions, and also like Schraml in small and mid-sized processing companies for decoration purposes, for example. So let's say surface frosting and decoating solutions, but more for decoration effects. At the moment now, we are looking more to get more industrial solutions, which means that we are now hardly working on drilling and laser cutting possibilities. And there we see a huge potential in the work together with LiSEC, because to build a machine which is very efficient with a low footprint and ready for industrial standards to work on. So we are working to provide the laser solution for that, and would like to work together with LiSEC in the whole handling of the glass process itself. So from bringing it into the machine, positioning, and also storage solutions.
Okay. Mr. Göttlinger, we all do not know what happens with this pandemic COVID-19 thing, but if you look to the future, what would you say? What are your plans for the next 2 to 5 years?
Well, as a long-term member of the LiSEC group, we cannot run a strategy without making a bill with LiSEC, of course. Yeah, it's always the partnership that counts. But for the near future, we want to focus on efficiency and want to come back to the question with the digitalization. Until now, like maintenance and engineering on machines was mainly done reactive. Some customer had a problem and a solution was found. And with collecting all the data now, we try to find out in the next years to bring up proactive solutions, such as predictive maintenance things, and well, we will increase efficiency, we will increase quality, and we will provide the best possible facility for testing the machine equipment and to collect data.
Mr. Schraml, perhaps due to the corona crisis, do you think in the future pre-owned machines will be increasing?
In my opinion, the second-hand business has to increase because of this. Because the investment is not that high, like for a new machine, and you can get the good, refurbished equipment for which you can run for the next 5 to 10 years. It's not only for big customers, it's also for small customers. Small customers can start with the LiSEC machines, because new equipment they cannot afford. And the big customers can remove the special products from their serial production lines and can do this on this stage. And in my opinion, the COVID situation is also for us a big chance, because now we have to rely on our service and sales network that we have all over the world, because traveling for the Glastronic sales guys itself is not possible like in the past anymore. So we have to find new ways. We have to go closer with LAT, with LiSEC. We have to find the synergies with the technicians. We need to use the service technicians from LiSEC and not our own technicians for doing the installation of the second-hand equipment, because our sales guys cannot travel. And in my opinion, to find a strategy according to the hub structure will be the perfect way to place the second-hand equipment all over the world.
Mr. Bumbos, seems like you've bet on the right partners. So every one of these managing directors have given us their perspective for the future, and of course I have to ask you about your plans, the strategic plans, but also the company plans that you have with these partners. Are there any developments that you have in mind already that you can share with us today?
You have heard it from the explanations of my colleagues. These partnerships enable us, for example, if I take Glastronic, to support the new machinery business and to also cover the pre-owned machinery market worldwide on the one hand, but Glastronic is also part of the production network within the LiSEC group for smaller machinery like the new manual sealing applicator and things like that. So that opens an additional market segment and also allows us to address customers which would be difficult to address with new machinery at that time. If you take Cerricom, opens the field of the upcoming laser technology, which will more and more also become part of glass processing. Mr. Pokorny mentioned it, as it was also in the sheet metal industry over the years, and therefore it opens an interesting field for new applications with this technology. Glastech, as Mr. Göttlinger explained, allows us to really understand the business of our customers under real market conditions on the one hand, and on the other hand, to have a testing field also for process development, to collect data also for new solutions in in the area of digitalization and things like that. And as Mr. Schraml explained, the merge of the know-how and of the experience of Schraml and LiSEC in the processing area allows us also to provide new solutions there. So these partnerships open a wide field of new activities, and the outlook for the future is, of course, to grow this business by merging our resources, by merging our experience, and by merging our know-how for the benefit of the customer finally.
That's an important point at the end, right? So thank you very much, you gentlemen here, for sharing your insights and for introduce your companies to show us the latest developments. Thank you, Mr. Brumbauer, for being our host today. And of course, everybody should go to the campus, because all these companies will present themselves also at the All-in-One Solutions campus. Just go there, make your appointments with the salespeople, and I say thank you to my panel, and I wish you a very good day. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.